are back for yet another one. Wait, why is there an icon over the character icon? No, I don't really care. You know what? Maybe I should focus on maxing these out. Because I think I did get more stuff for it. Didn't I? I did. Cannot go any higher? Cool. Look at this gladiator set. Oh my gosh. I can put the gladiator set on Aether. How much of this is not the gladiator set? Oh, I kind of feel like I should do it now. Oh, I didn't even realize I could do all this. I would have done it before I started recording. Matter of fact, before I started recording, that was all for that. Before I started recording, I went ahead and I got a whole bunch of Heroes Witch, and then I spent it all on Amber, and Amber is at level 67. So, wasn't able to get her all the way up to level 70 yet. But yeah, what we're going to be doing now is we got to go to the Caravan Rabata. And to do that, I have a whole pathing for it. So we're going to start... Should I really start in Port Ormos? I think I will. We're going to go up here. We're going to grab this waypoint. We're going to hop and skip over to here and get this waypoint. Hop down here and get this temple. Go over here and get this one. Wait. This is the tower. This is the coordinates of sun and rain. Whatever. And then we're going to hop up to this waypoint, and then up to this waypoint, and into this waypoint. And then I want to see if I can skip around to this waypoint, and then hop back up and go to the 4 loggerheads. So this episode is just going to be a lot of exploring. It would probably actually work better as a half episode, but we're not going to do that. No. Now, first question is, how do I get out of here? Maybe I should start from across the river? Because I am already lost. Maybe going this way will work. Come on, around. Keep going around. Maybe there will be stuff that I could cashier for what? Maybe there will be a store that I run across. You know what? We're out of stores. But I think I can see our pathing. This is the way that we're going to go. We're over 1,000 meters away from our final destination. Maybe I should use a different word, considering what final destination is in our culture. People even really think about Final Destination like that. I hear it every so often, but it's only from the older generation. I feel like Gen Zers aren't really up on it. Millennials are barely up on it, I feel like. I hear it more from like the gateway of Generation X and Generation Y. Is that beam light just that tree again? I feel like it might just be that tree again. Oh, sure is a really good way to travel. I don't think Mona's go under the water into the ground thing is a great way of travel. Where am I? Oh! Is this a hideout? I kind of want to battle this hideout. What is that? Energy extractor device within the Emerite camp seems to serve some unspeakable purpose. You must look for a control key somewhere in the surrounding rooms to shut it down. However, the smallest movement might interrupt the termination sequence, so make sure to keep the area free of obstruction until the machine shuts down.
Feeling lucky today?
No. Not really.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm going up here. Okay, that's not the way to get there. I gotta look for this stupid key thing. Ow. I feel like a poison. I think I found the key. I just need to get a good way in.
new
Fate
punch.
is upon you. Delve into destiny.
Here you go, guys. Get frozen. That'll make things easy.
Crumble.
Don't you want to make things easy?
Propagate.
Oh, great. I missed the propagate. Any little friends want to drop down in here? They're more than welcome to. I don't think they're going to, though. Why would they want to? They know they're just going to be beat. Oh, I need to find 2 keys. Okay, okay. I guess for that, we got to keep climbing up. Those spikes don't do a really good job of keeping me out, I must say. I wish there was a sneak attack like in Breath of the Wild.
That's enough. Spring forth.
Is it really close enough? Here, let me hit you with all the niceness.
Scatter.
To you forever, from me to you. Uh-oh, this is just one big explosive room now. Okay, everything is splitted. We're good. I don't see the key, so do we have to keep going up? Is that it? I feel like it's one of those T-teleport things. Come on. Stick with it. Okay, we're good. We're good so far. Ah, no. Lost my footing. I don't think this is highly maneuverable. Not saying it's not maneuverable, I'm just saying it's not highly. Give me. Yes. All right. Now, if I were the other key, I would probably be over there by the tent. Considering that this building is explored. Let's just go ahead and explore over here. Oh, it's got to be in the tent. It's got to be. It's not, though. Tower? No. Down in here? There it is.
Happy to oblige.
I'm not. What happens now? Guard the extractor until it shuts down.
Feeling lucky today.
Delve into destiny. Written in the stars.
Try to keep up. Scatter. No more tricks up your sleeve.
Extractor termination process.
I'll be you on this.
It's still safe, right? Next wave. She's new. Haven't seen her before. Who are you? You're not welcome here.
Life goes on.
Terminate. Propagate.
I'm wondering if it's a mistake me putting these things out here. That dude is patrolling but not doing anything.
I'm getting sick of this game.
Well, it's a good thing that you're getting defeated, like, right now. Next wave.
Time to go to work. Order guide you.
Ooh, dude came close just so he could get hit by the niceness. Thank you for coming close.
Fate is upon you.
I don't care if I'm testing your patience. I'm still gonna beat you.
Orders given. Orders received.
I know how to combo well enough. Hey, we beat it. Still don't know exactly what it all does. Don't care what you need. Just die already, please. Makes things easy. Rich red road pad. I don't know what the word was. I didn't get a good look at it. Oh, hi, you're here.
Feeling lucky today.
You guys need to stop saying that.
Let me scry.
It feels like you're ripping off a movie quote. And defeated. What is this over here? And the exquisite chest.
An answer
Oh, a
from
hero's
this
wits.
world?
I need that for Amber. Okay, so yeah, I shut this thing down. Don't know exactly what it does. Whoa. Why did this happen? Is this because of what I just did? Shutting the thing down? Were they trying to like block whatever this was and I stopped that? Oh, that's that tree thing I went to last time. You know what? We're going this way. So I'm heading away from the waypoint and I need to stop heading away from the waypoint. I need to head to the waypoint. What's with the music coming out of there? Alright, time to go up. I'm like way off course what I was planning to do. Which is okay. That was an interesting bout that we just had, but still. I'd like to get to our destination today. Alright, and then... it's gonna be up there by one of those... Would that be a gazebo? I don't think it's a gazebo. I'm gonna call it a gazebo anyway. It has the makings of, but isn't quite. I don't think I have any keys for it, do I? I would love if I just randomly had a key for Samaru. Open? Nope, no keys for Samaru. Freaking. And here we go. Finally, the waypoint. Took us almost... it probably took us about 12 minutes to get here. All right, next we go, boom, to this waypoint. Probably spent a lot of time just gliding down to it. Am I facing the right way? Not at all. What about now? Because it's not showing up on the map. Slightly more this way. Like, we gotta go past the glowing tree thing. Or aim, yeah, aim to the right of it. I see it on the map now. Just gently gliding. Gliding through the air. Oh, I see it. It's up there in that tree, isn't it? That's a ways up. Means I gotta get my stammies up. And then climb to that perch without jumping. And then make my way around. Raining? Or... Aha! This works pretty well. Oh, we just saw another one of those things. Ooh. What are these glowing flowers? Must climb and get them. But I also can't jump because I will run out of stammies. I'm gone, but my shadow is here. Your shadow is always beside you when no one else is. I just got a light from it. Ugh. Come on, give me that thing. Give me that loot. It won't give me the angle for the T. Come on, I want to go faster. Yes, yes, I know the waypoint's up there. Seriously. I'm still at a point to trigger it. Come on, give me it. Wow, this is annoying. It's teasing me constantly. You know what? I don't need your help. I can do this on my own. Nope, get down. And get the waypoint. Next. Over here. For that, we turn and look this way. Goodbye, pretty tree. Yeah, we're gonna get in there at some point in the future. How do you get in? What is with this bubble? Investigate? I'm so confused. And where is this thing? Is it up? Looking at the map, I would think it's up here. Where is it? I might have to say forget this one. Yeah, I'm gonna say forget this one. I think this whole thing might be it. I'm just not gonna bother with it right now. I do see that temple over there. I don't see anything along there. I think this marker was for this thing. All right, just keep moving up. Ah, it didn't work. Yeah, forget about that one marker. We're going straight to the next one. Just don't know the best way to get there. That's just a pile of leaves. There you go up. I don't know what that sound was, but it kind of freaked me out. Okay, we're almost upside down. But we're okay. I think. We are okay. Cool. Let's go up higher. Yeah, we do. Over here. I'm really lost. More. Almost there. Level ground, please. We made it. What is this space? This looks weird. You know what? Not even gonna bother thinking about it right now. Not even gonna bother. Saw another one of the what they're called. I don't remember. Over there. Sure, let's give this a try. Come on. Trigger. Trigger. Please. Thank you. I want to get that higher view. Thought it might do me some good. I don't know where to look around there for the last point. All right, continue on to the next one. Up here, over by the touring... What was it? Touring light show? That's what I thought I said. All right, fine. I'll let you give me a little boost. I'm starting to get used to these little, like, teleport type things. They do make traveling easier. Wait a minute. It's here. Oh, I saw that there. I thought it was like one of those, like, time trial or battle trial things. Okay. We got the next one. I guess maybe while we're over here, I could get the Core of Light. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Well, I don't know what I'm looking for. Complete the light chasing challenge. Where does this start exactly? Oh! It's that, isn't it? Question is, do I really want to be doing this right now? I'm with you. Go up higher. Come on. Higher, higher, higher. How much more is this? Is there? Done? Cool. All right, now the next waypoint, I went almost all the way back to this one. Wow. No, let's teleport to this one. Just be closer. Maybe it's better for us, maybe it's not. We'll see. This way. Oh, it started raining in the rainforest. Wait, how do we do with Mona in this? I feel like if it's raining, maybe it shouldn't take as much.
With rain this heavy, not only are the stars clouded, so
Hi.
too is my scryglass hazy.
Why do they always run? This doesn't lead to anything? It's like it's sectioned off. Treasure hoarders. Huh. So they do exist around here. Oh, great. We gotta climb again. Don't we? Yeah, looks like it. Wait, do these light things restore stamina? They do. Oh my gosh, that's convenient. Great. I gotta sit here and be teased by being able to teleport again. And there's the next waypoint. Stop teasing me like that. It's so annoying. I would love to teleport up to you, but you don't stay. Yeah, no, I'm already here. Leave me alone. And now, where do we go? No, it's over here to this cliff, which means we're probably getting out of this little trench area that we're in. Wait. I don't know if that's actually better. Oh, and more bubbles. More of those giant cat things, too. I won't bother with them. I know they don't bother me if I don't bother them. And we're back to climbing. A lot of climbing. A lot of cliffs and a lot of trees. It is a very beautifully designed area, though, I will say. It's just annoying traversing all of it. Yeah, it's annoying to traverse that whole frickin' tree there. We almost up there? No, we're getting there. Still want to figure out that place with the light. A little bit more, a little bit more. We're there! Sweet. Alright, so now I think if we go up there, we'll reach the waypoint. This is probably some enemy group's camp. Aw, she's so happy. I don't want to mess with her. Look at this. We can restore our stammies. Mm-hmm. Restoring stamina. Maybe doing all this is a bad idea. It's just taking so long and it's obnoxious. But it is giving us more of a layout of this place. And it looks like all of my daily challenges are in here. Yeah, all of them are in Sumeru. So maybe it's not like the worst thing, but still. And got it. Oh. And here we are getting into the desert region. What's with that light? Oh, that's the direction we're going to. Interesting. Yeah, this was our last stop before actually getting to where we're trying to go. Wait, no, that's not our destination. That, I think, is our destination. Yeah, this is our destination right in front of us. I want to see about getting this waypoint before we actually do start doing whatever we have to do. Ah, now things are entering in. It's starting to look like a really nice place. I was about to say look like a nice place, but now it's really coming together as we get closer. I already see where I'm supposed to go, but yeah, we're gonna bypass that. We are welcome here, right? Doesn't look like anybody here is hostile. Yeah, he's a merchant. Merchant.
Travelers and visitors.
I did sneak into the village, but still. I like the effects of running through the sand. All right. Let's get started. Let's get to the point where I can sit back and not have to say a word.
We finally made it to Caravan Rebat. It's pretty lively here.
It is. Although you couldn't tell by the shot. Oh. Forgot.
So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta be the divine work of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right?
It is indeed quite impressive. What footsteps? Is someone gonna talk?
Enough gawking.
Ah!
Come on,
I hate
follow
them.
me.
Huh?
Hatham,
Over here.
he's here to help us. I knew it!
him. Wonder what he's up to.
I'm faster.
Travelers and visitors, don't miss out.
Why did we run all the way over here? Oh, we're being chased. That explains it.
What the? Where did he go? How did we lose him? They were just here a second ago.
Why are they chasing?
More
Why?
Airlight mercenaries? Who are they working for this time? Anyway, Traveler, it seems like we were being followed again.
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago.
Thanks, Alhaitham.
There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors.
Surprised they would
All I
actually
did was
follow me
correct a mistake
through
I
everything I
happened
did.
to come across. It's a habit I developed at the Akademiya.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Akademiya? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us back on their orders.
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Akademiya's hit list. I can't say that I didn't expect it.
Well, it's not really the
However,
Academia's, but
Had I wished to turn you over to the Akademiya, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
no, I think I could beat you.
Right, you do have a point.
Did you participate in the Sage's big project?
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer.
So you were actually looking for me?
Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Unfortunately, I've run into some difficulties.
And they are.
Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If
But-
I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how the capsule first came to be. Which brings me back to you and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing what you've been hiding from me?
It must be because I was shocked to hear those words again. World, forget me.
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
The situation is a little complicated. I can't share what I know just yet.
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Akademiya after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your chest. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Am I right?
Dots.
No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also headed to the desert?
That's right. We have the same plan as you. But we don't really have any concrete goals at the moment.
Yeah, they're
Then
more
I'd
asphalt.
suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well, would you like to head there together?
Sounds good.
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's go.
Let's go to where we're gonna go. To Aru Village. Over here. Navigate. And are we able to just go out the gate? Is that cool? It's not gonna be any problems. Guess if it's like that, there won't be any problems. I want to try sticking to the road as much as I can. Give me the raw meat. Give me the other raw meat too. You know what? It might be smart sticking to the road because Legend of Zelda tells me you will get lost in the sands of the desert. Whether that's going to happen here or not, I don't know. Hi, guys. Can we not? Like, really, is it cool if we don't? Okay, fine, we will.
Rise!
I was waiting for those to blow up.
A reward on the road.
And continuing on this way, past the treasure hoarders. Please don't mind me. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. Oh. I can tell those aren't actual scorpions. I feel like these were constructed. Oh, they are actual scorpions.
Crumble!
Shadows of fate. Go.
I thought it was going to be like the chaos things. Oh my gosh, you get raw meat from them. Wait, they not bother you if you don't do anything to them? I want to see if I can just walk past it and it won't do nothing. For some reason, I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, it's not even concerned with me. That's cool. I didn't want to be concerned with it either. So it says higher. Scarab? Oh, I probably should have just picked it up. Oh. Now we gotta go lower. Higher and lower needs to stop when it's not really something to put in effect. Hold up. Let me get the statue of the seven. World opens itself to those with noble hearts. Yeah, we know. Look at all this desert that just opened up. Right past all of this rainforest. Dang, there's so much more to explore still. So much. And can we give it anything? Nope. All right, let's get started.
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa. This landscape is really something else. What a cool place. Let's go check it out.
Uh-oh, we're about to have a cutscene. Something's gonna happen. Wonder what it is, though. Is there even anybody here? Oh, he was available in the last set of rolls. Why you finna fight us?
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Akademiya. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my judgment just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
That
Had
seems
I
fitting.
used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me.
You sure about that?
Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Alhaitham? Did you call him General Mahamatra?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Akademiya. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth.
Better him than the Fatui.
I've been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
I don't trust him as much as you seem to think, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stand by and do nothing.
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
So you did lie to us. Of course you
No
did.
wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Akademiya, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Akademiya?
Is it a mission from the sages? It is!
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two? Ugh! What should we do, Traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either of them.
Well, one's on the side of the sages, so no.
Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over
Yeah.
there.
Wait, Dia?
We know we can trust her. Right?
Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are gonna start fighting again!
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Akademiya duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day, that's for sure. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds.
Well, it's getting them to stop fighting. Neither of them could afford to be distracted by Dia. They're still looking for an opportunity to attack.
Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
What's with the wind? Why is it whooshing?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong! Is this a sandstorm? Paimon's gonna get blown away!
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover!
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind is too strong! Let's get over there!
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you Akademiya folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Well, I think you kind of have to over the storm now. It's getting kind of loud. Elemental reaction. He doesn't want to sit next to him. Just talk to each other. Or move on to whatever is going to be said next. Why is it just sitting there like this? It's on autoplay! All anybody knows how to speak is with dots.
Well, this is pretty awkward.
Yeah.
Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down.
Small.
Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping us.
You have my gratitude.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister. Unlike those guys over there.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand.
She was listening from the
As a
beginning, wasn't
guardian
she?
charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the sandstorm started.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever to us.
Understandable.
So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and put your hostile feelings to rest.
Her
If
S's are so
anyone dares to
harsh
start
on
anything again
compression.
while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
Oh, on second thought, Paimon may have misjudged Candace's character.
She's just the guardian of the village. I understand it.
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear. So, which of you will begin?
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Please explain.
Huh? Exile yourself?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Akademiya's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data was none other than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me. I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning.
Okay, we can trust him.
Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us."
So they really are up to no good.
Yep.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the Akademiya of today.
So you then decide to exile yourself? And I have to say, everybody in the room, other than these three, Traveler, Paimon, Sino, their eye designs, top tier. These three's eye designs are kind of basic, but Dia, Al-Haytham, and Candace, all their eye designs, I'm really digging it.
I believed it would be wise to flee the Akademiya before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor predict my actions.
Good
I will
plan.
never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once I find the truth, I will administer judgment by my own name.
Sino seems to have
We can
the
help.
same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages.
We can help.
Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary.
It's still too early to trust him completely. What if that whole story was just made up?
Well, Sino,
I trust him.
if that's your story, then why did you see Alhaitham as a target?
When I was investigating the matter in the Akademiya, I overheard a conversation between Alhaitham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Alhaitham?
What?
I don't have a problem with that.
Parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
The sages were watching me from the very beginning.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the traveler.
Alhaitham?
I still don't have a
After
problem with
all,
it.
The promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all I needed to know. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
What about your encounter with me?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then.
But then you bumped into
I
me
only
anyway.
told the Akademiya I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything.
But then I appeared.
So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Akademiya. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
Now you mention it, things did go like that.
That's true. Alhaitham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied.
That's fair.
After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in this land.
You should be well aware, Scribe Alhaitham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the Akademiya. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, Dia.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Sandstorm monster?
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted.
We're not
Anyone
faint-hearted.
without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage.
That point
You
works.
needn't worry.
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
After a while, the wind outside begins to calm.
The wind's died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright? Maybe we should go out and check on her.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.
Well, if you walk around on the floor a lot, then I guess you can say it's pretty chatty. Check the situation outside the village chief's house. Here's the door. Hey, a person. Not bothering right now. Oh, those things?
Oh, Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
Not only is she really strong, her stamina is also something else.
Here comes another wave!
Would you like some help?
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action. I'll leave these to you then.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Delved into destiny, written in the stars.
Scatter! Spring forth! I will have order.
Just spamming everything. I remember these guys cause you to bleed. Everybody in the whole party just loses health.
Shadows of
Quake! Propagate!
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up?
I gotta stick with mainly Chi-Chi. Because as long as she gets healed up, everybody else does too.
Sacred name, fortune preserver.
Propagate! Crumble! This is order.
Delved into death. Life goes on.
And defeated. Not too bad.
Creatures stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Probably the village chief.
Huh? Who are you?
The village chief.
My apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children.
You fall into one of those categories.
I am the chief of Aru village.
Called it.
Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent.
Yeah, we've taken note of that.
Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru Village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village
guardsmen?
guards like Candace?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars exiled here by the Akademiya. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidya forest. The Akademiya
I think we know
believes
what
that
happened.
their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me, it's all a boatload of nonsense.
I don't think we should bring her up just because. Tanari also brought this up before.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins?
Is there a problem with that?
I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but
I
if
don't
you
think
are
there's anything wrong with
guilty,
that.
I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations. Thank you for your help.
I'll help too.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars.
Stop bringing her up.
First they lose their sanity, now this! We
Keep
need
her identity
to
a
help
secret.
get them back home, safe and sound. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
That's why it's a great opportunity to watch them.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates.
Oh, definitely.
Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
Exchange information with Sino somewhere else. Looks like we're gonna go further into the village. Then we get a whole bunch of key teleport triggers. Does everybody here have a request? Not everybody. And here we go.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation?
Why do they refer to the mad scholars as village keepers?
One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange incident.
Incident?
The Akademiya has long exiled mad scholars to Aru Village. A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But after spending some time here, they invariably begin to calm down. Initially, the people of Aru Village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. But a strange incident one night changed that.
What was it?
Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory.
I could probably do
Seeing
it.
buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village was preparing to take everyone to safety. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground.
That's probably exactly what
In the
happened.
end, not a single building collapsed, and no one was hurt. After that, the people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer to them as the village keepers.
Not a bad story.
Soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru village? What do you make of it, Traveler?
It must have been Nahida's power.
Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the Akademiya could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction with them.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down, it was probably Nahida who calmed them.
Yep.
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more information than I do.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So, what do you make of the story?
The Mad Scholar's power likely came from Lesser Lord Kusanali. Lesser Lord Kusanali is actually the one that protected the village. Let's go with the first one.
Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Yep. We've been hanging out with her. She cool.
What?
Kind of childish,
You
but
don't
cool.
believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power to the mad scholars.
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your reasoning. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. Is she really active in Sumeru?
Yep.
The Akademiya has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never had any reason to doubt their views.
Well, now you have all
In
the reason to
addition-
doubt their views.
I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
We got stories.
Way, Nahida definitely exists. She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise. Even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
We saved Sumeru City together in the not-so-distant past.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can easily tell when someone is lying.
And we're not.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. You two really must have met Lesser Lord Kusanali.
That we
How can this
did.
be? To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
All right.
Just because you
now
ignore
it's
them doesn't mean they're
our
not
turn
there.
to put our skills to good use for this investigation.
You betcha.
But easier said than done, especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe we can start by knocking on some doors.
Maybe.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
Is he missing?
Huh? Who are you?
It's kind of rude, Paimon.
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that? It's not like he's a bad person or anything.
Oh, poor kid.
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are. Why do you call him Grandpa?
Grandpa is just Grandpa. He's my family. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my grandpa. I swear I'll help. I won't be a nuisance.
We can't take you with us, but we'll look
So
for him.
you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was. but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Ethan wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa. Let's find a way to help him.
Sorry. I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candace.
Please help him, Sino.
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
Okay. And we can do that next time. So that's going to be it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, when hopefully we will have enough Hero's Wit and all the things for ascending for Amber and Yanfei. Yeah, I just need to battle the freaking Primo Geova shapes or Fashaps a few more times. So yeah, until next time, deuces.
So I wrote it in the rhyme. The Reverend Doctor got an 8K, wet working. The roaches get the race spray. My weak rhyme, my body, your best verses on game day. I touch the crowns of self-entitled kings. You leave the heat like LeBron when I melt your idols' vital things. This is Malcolm and Martin, Million Man March in Sparta, mixed with a legion of angels surrounding sons and daughters. Simon Peter with a desert eagle, waving it at Caesar. So if I was you, I probably wouldn't mention me